with class. This is very straightforward that you will take care about in utilizing with HTML code. So you need to take care about in referring with HTML code. By referring that particular HTML code, we need to take care about any kind of name option or ID option or class option is available and we can utilize it. So further, we got taking care about. Further, we got taking care about in preparing with one particular Excel, right? So related to that object identification, related to that particular object identification, we need to take care about in preparing with this particular respective Excel here, right? So we need to be get take care about, we need to be get take care about in preparing with that particular respective Excel here, right? So this is how we need to be get mentioned, taking care about in preparing the Excel. You need to be get continue. You need to be get continue in identifying. You need to be get continue in identifying that particular respective object for each and every particular element. As an example, I mentioned that you can try for login model and you can try for PAM model for the practice purpose, but not like you have been restricted, not like you have been restricted for only that particular model. You can take care about, you can take care about in utilizing for any of the model here, right? So this is what we need to be get take care about. This is what we need to be get take care about and coming up with preparing this kind of object identification. So while working these particular things, as an example, we got add button, delete button. If I'm taking with add button, by default, there is no option of name and there is no option of ID. We got an option of taking with class. Class is provided, class is provided, but that particular class also, class is provided, that particular class also, it will be taking with duplicate, right? So class is provided, that particular class also considering the duplicate. That means we are not able, we are not able to go with name option or ID option or taking with class option here. In that way, if you are not able, if you are not able to identify the object, if you are not able to identify the object by using any of these particular option, by using any of these particular option, then we can take care about, we can take care about utilizing, we can take care about in utilizing this particular respective XPath option. So we got one more option that we will be taking with XPath. So this particular XPath, we can consider that one of the main thing, right? So let's take care about in a very detail. Let's take care about in a very detail how exactly we can identify this particular object. Let's take care about how exactly we can identify this particular respective object, right? Okay. So now see here, see the concept. If I'm taking with XPath, if I'm taking with, if I'm taking with this particular XPath, this particular XPath, we can mention that this particular XPath, we can mention that taking with group of nodes. If I'm taking with the XPath, If I'm taking with the XPath, we can mention that group of nodes. The meaning of node, the meaning of node in the HTML, in the HTML, in between of less than and greater than symbol. In the HTML, in the HTML, less than and in the HTML code, less than and greater than symbol, we need to be get considering that one particular node, right? So now we need to be get take care about grouping with the node that we will be considering. We need to be get taking care about grouping with the node that we will be considering that taking with one particular XPath. So this particular XPath, we got mentioned that taking with two types here. We got mentioned that having with two types. The one it will be taking with, the one it will be taking with absolute XPath. The one it will be taking with absolute XPath, and the second one taking with relative XPath. If I'm taking with the XPath, we got two things here. One is absolute XPath. One is absolute XPath. One is absolute XPath, another one relative XPath. So whenever you are taking with the XPath, that particular XPath, we mention the two types here. One is absolute XPath, another one relative XPath. Okay. So if I'm taking with this particular absolute XPath, if I'm taking with this particular respective absolute XPath, we can mention that starts with, if I'm taking with, starts with HTML tag, starts with HTML tag. If I'm taking with relative XPath, if I'm taking with relative XPath, mentioning that starts with HTML attribute, starts with HTML attribute. So the one it will be taking with absolute XPath, and the one it will be taking with relative XPath. So how we can get this particular XPath? How we can get this particular XPath? For getting these particular XPath, what are the steps need to be followed? For getting these particular XPath, what are the steps need to be followed? You can see that the one you will be taking with absolute XPath, and another one you will be taking with relative XPath. If I'm taking with, that particular XPath, need to be get take care about in having with two types here, right? So if I'm taking that particular XPath, we need to be get mentioning about taking with two types, absolute XPath, relative XPath. So how we can get these particular XPath? Very simple, very simple. Need to be get followed the same steps only that you will be taking with right click. Once you've done that particular right click, once you've done that particular right click, you will be taking with inspect. You are not worried about, you are not worried about in taking with the whole code. You are not worried about in taking with that particular whole code. Just you need to take care about, referring only highlighted one. In that highlighted one, you will be taking with right click. In that highlighted one, you will be taking with right click activity. Once you've done that particular right click, you will be utilizing the copy option. Once you are taking, that particular copy option, from there you will be taking with the two options you will get. One is copy XPath and another one copy full XPath. One you will be taking with copy XPath and one you will be taking copy full XPath. Copy XPath, it will provide you relative XPath. Copy XPath, it will provide you relative XPath. Copy full XPath, it will provide absolute XPath. So you need to be taking care about this particular right click and taking with copy, and then I'm taking the option of copy full XPath. Copy full XPath. I'll just click on that. Now we can see it will provide you that particular XPath. Now you can see if I'm taking with absolute XPath, we used to be get mentioning that started with HTML tag. In the same way, you got relative XPath. How you will get relative XPath? Just will be taking with right click, and then taking with copy, and then taking with copy XPath. Just you need to be get utilize the option that you will be taking with copy XPath. That particular copy XPath, it will provide you relative XPath. That particular one, it will provide you relative XPath. Right? Now I can see started with HTML attribute, that equal symbol taking with attribute. So this is how you got an option. Taking with that particular XPath. I mean, any object, whatever it can be, any object you want to try, you need to take with the same. Any object you want to try, you need to go with the same. For example, I'll be taking with password text box, If I'm taking with that particular password text box, again you will go with taking with right click. Once you done that particular right click, taking with copy. From the copy, you will be taking with copy full XPath. If I'm taking with copy full XPath, that it will provide. Right? So it has been giving that particular one absolute XPath. It has been providing absolute XPath. Right? So which it has been providing absolute XPath. Right? After that, it will be taking with, which you will be taking with relative X path, which need to be get taken care about, which need to be get take care about this particular relative X path. So if I'm taking this particular relative X path, if I'm taking with this particular relative X path, I can see here, doing with the right click and taking with the copy, that will be taking with, copy X path. If I'm just taking with copy X path, if I'm just taking with copy X path, it will take care about in providing that particular relative X path. Right? So this is how you can try for any object, whatever the object you want to try. For example, I'll be taking with clear button. I'll take with clear button, doing with the right click and then copy, taking with copy X path, it will provide absolute X, sorry, it will provide relative X path, right? So it will provide relative X path. Copy X path, it will provide relative X path. For absolute X path, you are taking with copy, that you will be taking copy full X path, which you will be taking with copy full X path, that it will be providing absolute X path. Right? So this is what we need to be get. This is what we need to be get mentioning about. This is what we need to be get mentioning about taking with invoking that particular respective X path here. I mean, any object, you want to identify, any object you want to identify, you need to be get take care about any object you want to identify, you need to be get taking care about, you need to be get take care about in following these particular steps here. This is how we have an option, this is how we have a possibility to get identify that particular respective objects here, right? So in this way, you guys need to go with, in this way, you guys need to take care about doing the more practice. So just you have to take care about in having that particular absolute X path, or which you will be taking with relative X path. So sometimes when you're practicing it, there may be a chances. Sometimes when you're practicing it, there may be a chances that absolute X path and taking with relative X path, there is a chances you will be getting the same. There is a chances you will be getting with the same. Right? So that doesn't make any problem. That doesn't make any issues. Just need to continue taking care about in identifying all the required option. So while working this particular X path, we got two types here. One you will be taking with absolute X path. One you will be taking with absolute X path, and another one you will be taking with relative X path. Right? So you need to be get take care about in working these two techniques. Now assume that you tried with these two options. You tried with these two options, but you are not able. You tried with these two options, but you are not able. You are not able to take care about identifying the object. Somehow, because of some reason, you are not able to identify that particular respective object. In case of you are not able to identify that particular object with the help of two techniques, with the help of two techniques, then you can take care about, utilizing some other option under relative XPath, not like any different type. XPath is two types only. XPath is two types only. But under that, under relative, under relative, we got one more option that we will be taking with XPath with attributes. XPath with attributes. So under relative, we got one more option. Under relative, we got one more option that we will be taking with XPath with attributes. So while working this particular XPath with attributes, while working XPath with attributes, we need to be get mentioning that XPath with single attribute. XPath with single attribute. We need to be get taking care about XPath with single attribute. At the same time, we got an option taking with XPath with multiple attribute. XPath with multiple attribute. After that, XPath with text attribute. XPath with text attribute. And then mentioning that XPath with contains, XPath with contains, and then taking with XPath with starts with, which need to be get mentioned XPath with contains and taking with XPath with starts with. Right? So this is what we need to be get taking care about. This is what we need to be get take care about in having these particular respective step. I mean, while identifying with the object, this is how we need to take care about utilizing that particular respective options here. So the one we will be taking with, XPath with attributes. In that, we need to take care about single attribute, multiple attribute, text attribute, and contains and taking with starts with. Right? So we have to take care about, we need to take care about in identifying the object with the help of these particular option. Previously, while working with the XPath, directly we got a copy option. Right? So previously we got a copy option, but now we don't have any of that particular copy option. Now we don't have any of that particular copy option. So rather than utilizing that particular copy option, rather than utilizing that particular respective copy option, we need to take care about, right? So rather than utilizing that particular respective copy option, we need to be get taking care about, in utilizing that particular respective syntaxes. We need to be get take care about utilizing that particular respective syntax. What exactly that particular syntax? What exactly that particular syntax need to be followed? So what exactly that particular syntax need to be get followed? Let's see that. Let's look into that. Further, you need to take care about the syntax is first you need to provide two forward slashes. Right? So you have to take care about, you need to take care about the two forward slashes. After that, taking with HTML tag name. HTML tag name. You need to take care about the two forward slashes, and then you will be taking with HTML tag name. After that, square brackets, @ mentioning that attribute type equal to, in a single code you will be taking with attribute value. You need to be take attribute value. See the understanding? So we need to be take care about in providing the two forward slashes and then taking with HTML tag name, square brackets, @ attribute type equal to attribute value. Right? So this is what the syntax need to be followed. According to this particular syntax, we need to take care about providing or writing that particular XPath here. Okay, let's see that. So the same thing you guys need to be done. How I'm taking this particular XPath, the same thing you need to be get followed. So mentioning that XPath with single attribute, You need to take care about XPath with single attribute. Right? So how we can do that? How we can take care about these things here? Okay, let's see that. Let's try with same thing. Username text box. I'm just taking with username text box. Now, for this username text box, we need to write. For this username text box, we need to write XPath with single attribute. We need to take care about XPath with single attribute. Right. How we can do that? First, you need to take the syntax, two forward slashes. Right? So according to the syntax, two forward slashes. After that, HTML tag name. What is it? HTML tag name. So according to this HTML code, according to the highlighted one, what is the HTML code we got? What is the HTML code we got? Sorry, what is the HTML tag name we got? According to the highlighted one, what is the tag name we got? Right. So if I'm taking that particular tag name that it will be taking with, if I'm taking with that particular tag name, need to be get mentioning about taking with input here. Right? Okay. See that. Now you have to take care about what is the tag name input. We got in a tag name that we will be taking with input. Right? And then taking with square brackets. After that, @ symbol. What is it? @ symbol. And then need to be get take care about. You need to be get take care about @ symbol. Need to be get taking care about in providing tag name. What are the tag name we got? Name, type, class, tab index. The one you will be taking with name, and then taking with type, and taking with class, and taking with tab index. So almost we got 4 attributes. Almost we got this particular 4 attributes here, right? So now our technique, if I'm taking with, if I'm taking with our technique, if I'm taking with our technique, we need to be get taking care about, we need to be get taking care about utilizing any of, utilizing any of one particular attribute. So according to the tester comfortable, according to the tester comfortable, we can utilize any of the attribute. I'll try with name attribute only, so that I will be taking with name attribute. Now you can see here providing the input, okay, input, right? So we need to be get taking care about in mention, sorry, not input, that is name equal to in a single code you need to be get provide, right? So now we written this XPath, right? We require some confirmation. We require the confirmation. We require the confirmation either this XPath has been correct or not. We require the confirmation either this particular XPath has been correct or not. Right? So we need to be get taking care about mentioning that in taking this particular respective XPath has been correct or not. To confirm that whether it is correct or not, again we will go the same HTML code and taking with Control F, which I will be taking Control F. See here, I'm just clicking on cancel. Again, I'm taking Control F. You will get this extra text box. You need to provide that particular XPath what you written, and from the keyboard click on enter. From the keyboard click on enter and refer the application, not HTML code, not HTML code, refer the application. In the application, you are able to see, in the application, you are able to see that particular text box is getting highlighted. So there you are able to see that that particular text box has been highlighted. So then you can confirm, then you can confirm, then you can decide. You can confirm that, or you can decide that that particular XPath is correct. If it is not highlighting, if it is not highlighting, then we'll confirm that that particular one is not correct. So this is how we got an option to confirm that either our XPath has been correct or not. So just from the keyboard, you need to go with Control F. From the keyboard, you have to take Control F. You need to provide the XPath what you written, and from the keyboard, click on enter. If you click on enter, for which object you written, for which object you have been written, that particular text box need to be identified. That particular text box need to be get identified. So that is what you will be taking with, that is what you will be taking with mentioning about in utilizing XPath or confirming XPath. For example, let me try another one. I want to go with login button. Whatever it can be, anything you want to write, I'll go with the same. So login button, you need to take care about this particular inspect. Login button, you need to be get take care about, need to be get having with this particular inspect. Again, it will refer highlighted one. See the attributes. What are the attributes we got? Type attribute, name attribute, value attribute, tab index. We got type attribute, name attribute, value attribute, class attribute, tab index. I mean, almost 5 attributes are there, but not like mandatory that it will go with all the 5 attributes. Not like mandatory that it will go with all the 5 attributes here based on tester comfortable. Your technique XPath with single attribute. If I'm taking the single, we can mention that 1. If I'm taking with the single, we can mention that 1. I mean, so we can consider that which will be taking with XPath with single attribute. Okay, now see the syntax to be followed. Taking with the 2 forward slashes. After that, tag name. The tag name input. Tag name is input. You will be providing input. Square brackets, @ symbol, we need to provide attribute type, attribute value. So we got type attribute, name attribute, value attribute, class attribute, tab index. Based on tester comfortable, we can utilize. Based on tester comfortable, we can get utilize any of the attribute here. So in that, you need to take care about utilizing this particular value attribute. You need to be take care about utilizing. I'm just taking value. No, sir, I'll go with type. You can utilize whatever. According to the tester comfortable, we can try with any attribute. I'm just trying value attribute. Value equal to in a single code need to be get provide that will be taking with value attribute. Now we can see here if I'm taking with control F and then taking with that particular XPath, click on enter, it is highlighting. If I just click on enter, taking care about in highlighting it. Right? So this is what you need to be get mentioned. Taking care about. This is what you need to be get take care about in providing that particular respective one. So in this way, you need to take care about each and every object and how to come up with the practice. You may get in a doubt, sir, what is the use of all these things? We are just identifying, but what is the use of this? What is the use of this that you will understand in the coming sessions? What is the use of this that you will understand? But for now, you guys need to be get more comfortable taking care about in identifying with object by utilizing with each and every particular option. By using each and every particular option, you need to take care about in utilizing it. Okay, now in the same way, we got mentioned that XPath with single attribute. Similar to that, you got taking care about XPath with multiple attribute. Single attribute, that is 1. Single attribute is 1. If I'm taking with single attribute, that will be taking with 1. Single attribute is 1. And then you will be taking care about multiple attribute. Multiple attribute, we can say that more than one. Single means one, multiple means more than one. So more than one, it should be 10 or it should be 100, 200, 20, 15, depends on it. In simple, you can say that multiple, the meaning of multiple considering that more than one. The meaning of multiple considering that more than one. Okay. The same syntax, 2 forward slashes, taking with HTML tag, HTML tag name, and then @ symbol, attribute type equal to, in a single quote, attribute value. Attribute type equal to attribute value. Okay. After that, this is not like single attribute, right? Multiple attribute. We need to go with multiple attributes. So if I'm taking that particular multiple attribute, taking with attribute type equal to, in a single code, you need to take with attribute value. So how many attributes you want to use it? How many attributes you want to use it? You need to take care about how many attributes you want to use it. You need to take care about in providing. You need to take care about in providing that many attributes here. I mean, that many square brackets you will be using. That many square brackets you will be using. So that particular attributes need to be get provided. Right? So that is what you will be taking with. Mentioning the attribute type equal to attribute value. Now, let's try with the example. The same thing you will do. So that you will be taking with, thus I will be mentioning about in taking with, right? So this is XPath with multiple attribute. So you need to be get take care about XPath with multiple attributes. So here you need to be get taking care about in having XPath with multiple attributes. Okay. Further, let's try password text box. You can try with anything according to your comfortable. You can go with any of the option. According to your comfortable, you can utilize any of the option. You can see here. That's will be taking with right click. Sorry, not right click. Just highlighted one. You have to take care about tag name. What is the tag name? Input. And you can utilize attributes. Now you're working the technique of multiple, right? So multiple means we can say that more than one. If I'm taking with multiple, we can mention that more than one. So according to your comfortable, according to your requirement, you can go with in utilizing with any of the attribute. Okay. Now, the 2 forward slashes, taking the tag name input, After that, you will be taking with square brackets, taking with at the rate symbol. You can try with any attribute. I'm taking with name and type. I'll be taking with name and then type. Okay. So that you will be taking with name attribute. The one you will be taking with name attribute. So need to be get take care about. You need to be get taking care about in mentioning that you will be taking with name attribute. So this is you will be taking with txt password. txt password. After that, again, square brackets, at the rate symbol, taking with type equal to in a single code, it will provide. In a single code, I'll provide. So this is, we need to be get that XPath with multiple attribute. XPath with multiple attribute. Let's confirm that. Let's confirm that. Taking with Control F, Control F. Now we can see. If I click on enter, if I click on enter, it is highlighting. If I click on enter, highlighting that particular password. Right? So clicking on enter, which it will be taking with, highlighted one. Right? So now by this, we can confirm that, we can decide that our XPath is correct. In the same way, we need to try one more. Let me try clear button. Let me try clear button. You can go with any of the things. Just I'm taking randomly according to your comfortable. You can try anything. You have to take with the more practice. You need to take with the more practice for that particular. You need to take care about more practice for that particular. Okay. Now, if I'm taking clear button, I'll be taking with the type, which I'll be taking with type. So here again, two forward slashes, taking with input, square brackets, and then you will be taking with at the rate, considering the type equal to in a single code you need to provide. After that, again, square brackets, at the rate symbol, taking with name equal to in a single code, you need to provide that particular name, right? So let's cross check that either it has been correct or not. To confirm that, either it has been, correct or not. To confirm that either it has been correct or not, taking with Control F need to be get provided. So if you click on enter, it is highlighting. Right? So if I'm just clicking on enter, it is highlighting that particular step, which is highlighting that particular one. Right? So you need to be take care about in highlighting that particular respective step. Right? Okay. So this is how you need to take care about in utilizing with the option, the one you will be taking with XPath with single attribute, XPath with multiple attribute. In the same way, you got an option of XPath with text attribute. What is it? XPath with text attribute. How we can utilize it? XPath with text attribute, how we can utilize it. So the slight difference will be there in the syntax. The slight difference will be there in that particular syntax here. So that we will be taking with mentioning about two forward slashes, the two forward slashes, and then HTML tag name, HTML tag name, square brackets, HTML tag name, square brackets. After that, taking with no symbol, taking with text, taking with text equal to in a single quote, taking care about text equal to in a single quote, you need to be get provide, that particular text details here. You need to be get provide that particular one, considering the taking with text details here, right? So you need to be taking care about, take care about in providing that particular respective, you need to be take care about in providing that particular respective text details, right? Okay, done. Now let's see how we can try on it. Let's try with taking with the technique, the one we got, XPath with single attribute, XPath with multiple attribute, and then XPath with taking with text attribute, XPath with text attribute. We need to take care about, in mentioning the XPath with text attribute. Right? Okay, done. Now we can see here how exactly we can utilize it. Let's try for username text box. Let's try for username text box. If I'm taking with it inspect, we got HTML code. Now we can see. So is there any text available here? If you refer this highlighted one, according to the code of highlighted one, is there any text is available? So is there any code is available? No, there is no, there is no text is available. Text means not like text attribute, So we need to be able to see some text has to be available. These are all attributes. Name is one attribute, type is one attribute, class one more attribute, tab index. So all these are attributes. We need to be able to see that any of the text. So text is not available, that we can consider that not applicable. Even password also not applicable. Login button not applicable. Clear button not applicable. Let me try this particular login name. See that if I'm taking with the label, of login name, now we can see that any text is available. If you refer highlighted one, any text is available. If you refer that particular highlighted one, any text is available. Yes, we are able to see that particular text login name. We are able to see that particular text that you will be taking with login login name, right? So we are able to see with the text considering that login name. Okay, now see here, if I'm taking with that particular syntax, two forward slashes, tag name, that is nothing but not input. See the tag name. Tag name TD. Whatever the tag name is there. So we are not worried about all those things, why that tag name is provided. Just whatever the tag name is available, you need to be provided. See here, I'm just taking with tag name TD square brackets and then considering the taking with text equal to in a single code text equal to in a single code you need to be get provide that particular text details. You need to be get provide that particular text details that you will be considering the XPath with text attribute. XPath with text attribute. Let's cross check either it is correct or not. Let's cross check correct or not. Control F, providing the XPath, click on enter, highlighted. You can see if I just click on enter, it is highlighting it, right? If I click on enter, it is highlighting it. So this is what we need to be get take care about. This is what we need to be get take care about in working with XPath with text attribute. Assume that you want to go with password label. Password label also the same thing you can try. Password label also the same thing you can try. Now we got password text. We are able to see that password text. See the syntax here. What is the syntax? Two forward slashes, HTML tag name, text brackets equal to text details. What exactly the text details are there? What exactly the text details are there? We need to be get provide. We need to be get provide that particular text details here, right? Now, if I'm taking this particular one, see that we got in a password that is considering the taking with the text. We need to be get take care about, we need to be get take care about in mentioning the that particular text. Now, as usual, two forward slashes, see the tag name. We got tag name is TD. We got tag name, that particular tag name we got in a TD. Square brackets, we need to be get mention taking with text equal to in a single code, text equal to in a single code, you need to be get provide. Text equal to in a single code, we need to be get provide, right? So that is what we need to be get understand that we will be taking with control F. Control F. So that we will be taking with providing. That we will be taking with clicking on enter, clicking on enter. If you just look into that, you're able to see that particular one, right? So this is what we need to be get take care about utilizing all the required options to get identify that particular object. So one will be taking with single attribute, one will be taking with multiple attribute, text attribute, and then contains and starts with. Contains and starts with. So we need to take care about contains and we need to take care about starts with, right? So what is mean by that contains starts with? That we'll look into that. So if I'm taking with syntax, the slight difference, so that it will be writing HTML tag name, square brackets, and then it will be mentioning that contains in a small letter, contains in small letter. After that, at the rate, attribute type, comma, attribute value. So we need to be get provide, two forward slashes, HTML tag name, square brackets, contains, at the rate symbol, attribute type, comma, attribute value. That contains, it should be in a small letter. In the same way, we got starts with. We got starts with the 2 forward slash, the 2 forward slash that will be taking with HTML tag name, HTML tag name, square brackets, mentioning that starts with, including the hyphen symbol, that particular starts with, it has to go, that particular starts with, it has to take care about, it has to be take care about that particular small letter, and then square brackets taking with at the rate, attribute type, comma, attribute value. So you need to be get taking care about attribute type, comma, attribute value. Right? So we need to be get take care about, we need to take care about in following with. So we need to be get take care about, we need to take care about in following with this particular respective syntax here. So we need to be get utilize all these particular options to get identify the object. So this is the syntax here. We need to understand that particular example. That example, I'll be discussing it. That example, I'll look into that. So it will take time. So tomorrow, I'll go with the example. And then tomorrow, we'll understand that what is the difference of all these options. So by that, we'll be completing with that particular 4 options: name, ID, class, XPath. The main thing